my goodness, the music just cut off dramatically. What happened? Isn't it interesting when something changes without you knowing, it just makes a shift in what's inside of you? See, but the big question is, how are you going to respond? So, anyways, thank you so much for being here. Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning. Oh, yes, again, that big, beautiful reminder that what? That we get to choose, that you get to choose, that I get to choose, that we all get to choose. And what is it that we get to choose? We get to choose how we're going to think. We get to choose what things mean. See, it's in your moments of decision about whatever it is that's around you, whatever's happening in your life, that your destiny's created. And the most beautiful part about that is that's something that's in you that you get to activate, that you get to apply in your life. And what's beautiful from here is that if you apply it, because that's where it's about, that's where it's at. You can know a lot of information. And remember, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power. See, but when you apply the knowledge, that's when the change occurs. Now, again, really grab on to what is being shared with you here. That right there is the core. That right there is the main reason why most people don't deliver change when they go through a personal development program or course or read a book. It's because most people, unfortunately, have formed the habit of collecting information. They are knowledge gatherers. Maybe you've fallen into that trap. Raise your hand if that's you. Okay, you've fallen into that trap. You're a knowledge gatherer. You have all this knowledge. You have superior knowledge, but then there's inferior results. Why? Well, because the knowledge is not being applied. See, that's what we do here at Elevitality. That is what we help other people to do, is to use this information. That's the journey that I went on myself. That's the journey that Dolly went on herself. Us together, we've formed this beautiful entity called Elevitality, which helps people to elevate their lives. How? By helping them to use the information, to apply it. And because of that application, guess what happens? The change happens. There's a difference in outcome. And again, that's what we're wanting you to see for you. And we're hoping that as you do come to these calls, as you do come with us on this journey, that you start applying it. And as you apply it, you start to see the change. See, that's what we're wanting for you. And from that, we're going to remind you, okay, now use it. Now, here, what we've been studying is this beautiful gem, the Master Key System. For those of you who don't have a copy of this book, get one and get it now. And if you want to read along word for word, page for page, then get this copy with this cover. Because this book right here is incredible. For those of you who don't know about Charles Haanel is who Napoleon Hill gave credit to for everything that he did. Not Andrew Carnegie, not anybody else. No, the one he gave credit to was this guy. He wrote a letter to him and shared with him the principles that he got from Charles Haanel, and said that, oh my gosh, you're responsible for almost all of my success. And again, now, why is that important? Well, because he talks about principles. See, it's principles. When you live your life with principles, according to the principles, what'll happen is you'll govern yourself to deliver different changes, the outcomes that you love. And again, that's what we do here, and this we hope you get for yourself. Now, with that being said, make sure that you have your handy dandy goal card. Okay, wave it. There you go. Now, my reminder for you is that you do not manifest what you write down on the goal card. You manifest how you feel about it. And that's the way it is with everything. Things don't come into existence. They aren't brought about to be a result unless there's an emotional attachment to it. And by the way, this works for both positive and negative. The whole point being is that when you connect, it leads to the outcome. This will literally start taking shape upon the model of your imagination the moment you start connecting to it. And then from there, all the plots, plans, dramas, situations will activate. You'll start to see changes. You'll start to see yourself do different things. You'll notice different things. Oh my gosh, everything will unfold. And it will unfold effortlessly. Effortlessly, my friend. All right. So, are you ready? Let's go into where we are in this magnificent jewel and highlight, underline, and most importantly, apply it. So here we go. Let me go ahead and switch this over here. Boom. Okay, so where are we in this? Well, where we are is on page 365. Now, we've gone through some of this before, but it's important to go through it again and again and again. So 365 is where we are. And here is something that I instructed you to put a big box around and to really grab onto. Okay, he says, we shall always find the cause in the world within. By changing the cause, we can change the effect, or we change the effect. I added the word can, but that's actually something that's really true. But again, really grab onto what he's saying here. If you want to change the effect, you've got to deal with the cause. The cause is what's happening inside. Your outer world is a reflection of what's happening in your inner world. Your inner world is a world of thought. In the beginning was the Word is a profound statement of truth. What's the Word? It's an image. All things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made, is a principle. It is something that is something that you can prove. And how can you prove it? Well, simply just look at the things that are in the room that you're in right now that were made. Every one of those things that were made were first in someone's mind in the form of an image before they became the material thing. See, the cause was how an individual was thinking, which led to that outcome. Look at the device that you're watching this on, whether it's your phone or your computer. Go ahead, just touch it. That physical thing was made because someone imagined it. It was in someone's inner world. Someone there in their inner world imagined the thing, and then from there they were loyal to that unseen reality. They were loyal to it. They became one with the idea, and then from there led to the externalization of the idea to the point of where now it's there. Matter of fact, it's in the room that you're in right now. You placing it where it is happened in the mind first. You coming here on these calls, it was imagined first. You're here because you connected with the idea. In other words, it was happening in your inner world, which thus led to this effect. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to achieving this. It's the same thing when it comes to turning your annual income into your monthly income, changing your lifestyle, all of it. Everything is delivered the same. Bob Proctor said that so many times, again and again and again and again. And it's true. Everything is created twice, first in the mind, second in its physical form. It was imagined first. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven is a statement of that principle. It's a statement of that truth. And the most beautiful, beautiful thing that's attached to that is there's no limit to what you can imagine. Remember, the only limitations you have are the limitations that you've agreed to. You don't have to agree to them. You don't have to consent to things as they are. Write that in your notes again. I do not have to consent to things as they are. Type that in the comments. I don't have to consent to things as they are. You don't. Now, here comes a beautiful practical example about application now. So you know that you don't have to do that. You know that you can imagine really great things for yourself, but then why don't we do it? See, this is where understanding paradigms comes into play. This is where understanding the real thing that's causing the struggle. It's not you that's stopping you. It's not you that's in your own way. You're not battling against yourself. That's not true. You're not self-sabotaging. What's in the way is a program. Remember, when you understand who you are, that's when you begin to realize you're not stopping you, that you've never have been stopping you. That's why we wrote this beautiful gem. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. If you don't have this, get this. This is how I wish it was described to me. from the very beginning. This points out the power of the world within and how you can shape and mold it to be whatever you want. So again, he points out we shall always find the cause in the world within. All of your problems are mental in nature, which means the solutions are mental in nature. By changing the cause, we change the effect. I shift this to be something in the first person. By changing the cause, I change the effect. Remember, seed, plant, blossom, fruit. That's the fourfold order of the universe. Seed, plant, blossom, fruit. That's sowing, reaping, cause, and effect. Plant a pomegranate seed, what do you get? You get pomegranates. Plant an avocado seed, what do you get? You get avocados. Plant an apple seed, you get apples. You don't get oranges if you plant an apple seed. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to what's happening in your inner world, in your heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The outside, the reaping will happen based from what's planted in the fertile soil of your heart. Whatever that dominant thought is, how you're thinking, because that's what it is, that's what externalizes as an outcome. Every cell in your body is intelligent and will respond to your direction. The cells are the creators and will create the exact pattern that you give them. Now, I want you to notice how he said pattern. If you want health in your life, will you be able to deliver health in your life if your dominant thought pattern inside is rooted in sickness? No. That's the vibratory state you're in. I got news for you. That's what you're making important, either knowingly or unknowingly. And it will thus externalize. That vibratory state will then shift what's happening in your body and lead to what that outcome is. It'll also shift what's happening in your mind with regards to ideas and lead you to whatever that is, positive or negative. Now, therefore, when perfect images are placed before the subjective, the creative energies will build a perfect body. And it's the same thing when it comes to income, lifestyle, all of it. Everything is delivered by principle. If it works in the body, it works for other things too. Now, again, grab onto that. It starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. You want to change the effect, you got to deal with the cause. Now, before we proceed, those of you who are watching this live stream and would love to continue with this at this depth to watch the replays too as well, go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You'll thank yourself later.